offense obviously takes some new wrinkles, has new wrinkles in high school. How long did it take to put some of that in you? Or was it stuff that you had the whole season?
Yeah, I think we what we did, I mean, we always game plan, we have a little bit of new, but I think what we did was a lot of the familiar, maybe some formation, some motion, some things like that. But we've been working on that stuff for quite a bit, and the guys went out and they executed really well. It's proud of our guys, and just how they played the football.
Kind of going off that, you guys did a lot more play action this week. Is that more so the game plan, or something you guys want to implement more?
I think it's a little bit. I think we spoke a couple of weeks ago about trying to do more of that. And that was, just to be honest with you guys, when we talked, it's something that we felt like we just kind of needed to do when we self-scout and we look at the offense and what we're doing well. So, we do it, and we try to just give the guys the best chance of success and try to keep the defense off balance.
That pistol formation, Graham was talking about the versatility and kind of flexibility it gives an offense. Like, that's something you guys did a lot in Baltimore when you were there as well. Like, what do you like about that as it's set up for the offense?
It's a different look, number one, for the defense. It allows the back to get downhill, in a different way. You can still do your play actions off of that. So just another way to, throw a different look at the defense.
Do you think the change offensively was more so execution or game plan and play calling?
I'm going to give credit to the players. I thought they handled last week extremely well. We have a great group of young men that love this university. They love playing the game of football, and they love each other, and they love ball. So I think, them coming out and do what they had to do, credit goes to them. The way they played the game, the way they executed, I thought we just had more of a sense of urgency. So, it was fun to be a part of, and it was great for those guys to respond and for us to get a team win.
You guys came out throwing on first down 5 times on the first 2 series, but there were some key third down conversions too. To the champ. Leonhard's pass was the third down play that got. That execution of third down, what were some of the factors that led to that?
I think it's reps. Just ask them, those are things that we've been repping since the spring. A lot of it carried over into fall camp. And you're always trying to formation, motion, shift. You're always looking for new. But I think when guys feel comfortable with what they've done, they're going to do it well. But, the players executed it. You call the play, but it's really on them. And I thought you get into a rhythm in a game like that. So, credit to those guys and how hard they played. And they, they care. It's important to them.
Jim said last week going into the Princeton game, the coaches would have to find a new way. How involved would you say Paul was in just kind of the weekly coming up with an offensive game plan? And how different was it for you last week, and even early this week, when he's not here?
Yeah, I think it's different because he's not here. But I think our offensive staff, that's really what I want to put the tension on. Those guys did a great job. Everybody had their hand in it. We game plan together, and guys have great ideas. Ultimately it's up to me to package it and coordinate it and make sure we're putting the guys in position. But man, they're all smart. They're really good football players, good football coaches. They understand our team and our personnel. So we just try and put together the best plan to give our guys a chance to go out there and have success. And ultimately, it's about winning, right? Each game is going to be a little bit different.
Chances Lewis, as a receiver, didn't have a big game against Northwestern, but he threw one of the key blocks on one of Jim's touchdowns. Did you expect him to play after how he looked initially again in that Illinois game? Because he looked like he was he went down initially.
Well, I never speculate on injury, right? Me personally, because you don't know until we get the report from our medical staff. I was encouraged, on Sunday and Monday when we got the reports back. And he's a tough guy, man. Yeah. He's St. Louis, right? So he's been through some things. But he's a good young man. He's tough. He's a worker. And he continues to get better. But yeah, it's great to have all your playmakers ready.
You saw Vinny Anthony out there a couple times on Saturday. What have you been seeing him do behind the scenes to earn himself some more chances offensively?
Just keep working. As a young guy, you come into this, man, and you have guys above you that have been here, done that. And, he's just been working. He's a quiet guy. And he just goes about his business, and that's the best thing for a young guy. Just keep working and keep getting better.
Jim made the change on Monday to push back the walkthrough or practice. Just curious how the assistants have seen that change. What if that's helped at all?
Yeah, I think it's been a good change, and I think it's been a good move by Jim, and it's just given us more time to kind of put you know, that the week prior put that game to bed, whether it's us watching the tape, us getting on the same page and correcting some stuff as a staff, and then meeting with the players, but also it's giving us a little more time to game plan as we roll into the beginning of the next week.
With Deacon leaving now, obviously that takes another body out of the rotation at quarterback. Have you and Jim talked about the possible plan for Burkett? Do you want to preserve that redshirt year, or you're just going to let things play out? How do you approach that?
No, I haven't discussed it with Jim. That would be a great question for him to
Okay.
answer.
With off of that, with Deacon transferring, how does that alter or change at all your recruiting, opportunities for this class? Would you look at a transfer portal potentially, or do you look at, continuing to recruit high school quarterbacks at that spot?
I think we have the board and what we're doing for 23, 24, 25. But again, I have not sat down and talked to Jim. I haven't sat and talked to Mickey and Casey and Billy and all of those guys in our recruiting department. So that'll be a decision that we'll have to make together. We just haven't sat down and discussed it yet, so I can't give you an answer on that.
Speaking on Paul, have you kind of been the primary play caller this year, or what's his input have been about? What was his input? Say the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I've called it all year, but I've always said, value his expertise and would lean on him and talk to him. And he mentored me to get into this opportunity to be able to call plays. So yeah, it was a tough deal, But we understand the business side of this sport, and I thought our guys, our coaches, everybody in this building did a great job of rallying and getting ready to go win a game.
Bobby, tight end's another position that you guys got some guys banged up. How, if in any way, has Echelon's role changed? What has he been giving you? With first Cunliffe going down and now Lucci being in the middle for a little bit?
I think at any position, when you have injuries, guys have to step up. And a lot of times it's in different ways than they've been asked to in the past. So that's just a guy who takes pride in every phase of the game. So, obviously pass catching, but we've asked him to do a little bit more in the run game and some certain things in protection. So, the whole room has to rally. Ash has to rally, Cole has to rally, Jay has to be ready. So, that's the thing, and we all understand that it's the next man up, and that's why they practice hard, and that's why everybody has to prepare like a starter, because you never know when you're going to be called upon.
You include Logan Brown in that tight end room now?
Now he is, but a big tight end.
What could he give you in that regard? Just a guy who can move some people?
I think you get a bigger body that understands the blocking schemes, right? So we have to find what that balance is, but he's a guy who's experienced. Obviously, he's played a lot, and he's a big, strong dude, so it gives you an opportunity to get a bigger body, more physicality at times.
Clean football was something that got talked about a lot last week. How do you replicate what you did last week with that through practice and going into Saturday against Michigan State?
I think we all talk about that because it's really a big part of winning the game. We had 0 turnovers. We had 2 penalties. I think one was substitution, which we can certainly clean up. Then the other one was cost of doing business. I think Nelly got a hold of it. And those will happen, right? We really don't want any, but we talk about minimizing them. And I think we've had our spurts where those penalties have hurt us, right? And kind of stalled drives. So that, protecting the football, and guys going out and executing, and then executing consistently, that's clean football, that's good football, that's winning football. And the way you replicate it is by the way you practice.
Chimere Dika has been peppered with targets the last 2 weeks. Has there been a cognizant effort to get him more involved, or is that just a result of what's transpired on the field?
I think it's a little bit of both. He's the most veteran receiver. He's proven he's reliable. Him and Graham have a great connection. And then some of it is how do they play you, like what the coverage is. Do they blitz? And Graham's going through his progressions, and the ball just found him a lot the other night. He made the most of it. So happy for him because of the way he works. He's a great leader, man, on this team, and got a lot of respect for Jim.
Saturday the first time you were on the field, guys?
Yes. Well, here.
What was the biggest difference? Obviously, Jim talked after the game. It's important for players to see you, to feel that confidence. But from a play calling standpoint, what was the biggest difference? What can you see on the field that you can upstairs? And what can you see upstairs that you can't?
That's a big question. Let me try and break that down. I think number one, you feel the environment, obviously, right? Because I'm on the field as a place to be. Number two, you just got to communicate with the guys a little bit more in terms of maybe, is it 2, is it 3 yards, is it 4 yards? That's kind of hard to see sometimes if it's across the field, but the guys in the booth do a great job. And then just me being on top of my game and communicating with the coaches to make sure we get into the right play. So pros and cons, but I like it, and that's how we'll move forward. And just really being able to communicate with Jim, talk to him about some situational things that may have come up. third downs, fourth downs, timeout. So it was a good change.
How much, if any, is Jim? I don't know if he'd be involved in offensive play, but his knowledge of the defense obviously can contribute. What kind of conversations have you been able to have with him in his head coaching role the last week?
Well, he put a play in and he told me if I didn't call it, he was gonna fire me. So I called it. Pretty smart guy. But I mean, I pick, bring him in and we talk about the coverage. What are they trying to do here? How can we take advantage of it? And we just talk ball, man. He loves ball. I love ball. We love coaching. We love these guys. We love being here. So we just got to keep figuring out what that relationship looks like. But got a lot of respect for him, what he's done. And yeah, I mean, I bring him in and we talk a little bit of football and see how we can get him the advantage offensively.
Did it work?
Yeah, no, we missed it. It was open, but we missed it. I do my job for another week.
Last week, AD Chris McIntosh said that he owes it to the university to kind of conduct a full coaching search at the end of the year. Do you believe that at least you should be in consideration for the head coaching job at the end of the year?
Who's that?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I think Jim should.
There we go.
Yeah, but that's not my decision. I mean, he's a guy who walked on here. You guys know his resume. And then, I played with Mac. Got a lot of respect for Mac, and they're going to do their due diligence. But I could say that Jim Leonhard is certainly qualified.
Is there an example on Saturday where you and Graham were able to work things through after a series, or well, maybe not a play, but after a series, and kind of look through what happened on the drive?
Yeah, and that was another good thing about being on the field. We would sit on the cooler and just kind of, I would get a list of the plays we kind of called, and I saw what I saw from the sideline, and we would talk through what he saw and make sure we're on the same page and kind of discuss what we wanted to get to next. I think that was a really, that was a good benefit of being on the sideline as well. But yeah, we talked a lot.
O-line had played maybe their best game this season. Just curious what you guys saw that went into what went well on Saturday.
I just think you see guys getting healthy. I think, those five has to play as one. Bo does a great job of getting them prepared every week. And it was one of those games, I think, as an offense, you get into a rhythm. And I think that's a big part of it. Our guys are capable. You've seen that in spurts all year, right? But it's the consistency. We talk about the rhythm, just everybody doing their job consistently.
Tyler Beach was out last week. Do you anticipate him coming back into the starting lineup, or do you anticipate him in the same five hours?
Not sure yet. Got to wait on our medical team to let us know. But I know Beach wants to be out there and he's working hard to get healthy.
With Michigan State's defense, just what are you seeing on film from them? I know rough game against Ohio State this last week, but what do you see on film that could stress y'all?
Yeah, they're a good defense, man. I think they've had a couple of really tough opponents these last few weeks. But we never take anybody lightly. But those guys are talented. Similar structure to the one we just played, 4-3. They play a lot of nickel, but they could go to their 4-3-4 defense. But they play hard, man. So credit to Coach Tucker and the staff. Those guys play hard. You can tell they're passionate about the game, and they're sound in what they do. They're going to mix some coverages on you. They'll blitz in different ways to try and attack the middle. We just have to be on top of our game and make sure we're sound in our rules, and just go out and again have a great week of preparation and just be ready to go play the game just hard, just the way we played this past week, and play clean football.
How much of it all do you feel like you've got to manage Braylon's carries, just knowing when Chess is out, or is it a situation where you don't necessarily want to change things from him, but Isaac is in there?
I think that you have to be mindful, but Braylon, he's a big, strong dude, man, that likes to carry the ball. Isaac is ready. He's a talented back. You got Chip and Drew that you can use in different situations. So we always have a mind on it, but we're trying to do whatever we can to put us in position to win games.
Did Braylon really tell you to give him the ball on the sideline?
He always does. I usually do, unless it's 3rd and 8.
When you're pro.
Thanks,
Good.
Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it.